Welcome to another episode of the Banner Report podcast, starring Cody Adams and Steve Crowley. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Banner Report podcast, starring your host Cody, Steve, and Jacob. We're coming to you live on December 10th, 2023, about a month and a half into the season, close to 2 months. Happy Hanukkah to those who celebrate. And in other news, the Celtics are 16-5, first place in the East. Not a lot has gone on. This has been the in-season tournament week. Congratulations to the Lakers. We'll just get that out now. They won the whole thing. Other than the Pacers, who, let's be honest, they deserve to be there. They played their asses off in this tournament. They were young and hungry. On the battle of the undefeateds, both 6-0 in the IST. But pretty much couldn't have scripted it better unless the Celtics had made it. But we lost to the Pacers last week. They knocked us out. So LeBron takes it home, and Anthony Davis showed out. Those stats weirdly don't count. I don't know why the last game stats don't count towards the regular season, but because it's an extra game. Yeah, right?
The counting stats would be higher because you got an extra chance to score more.
I bet Anthony Davis wishes they counted him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so congrats to them. But let's cut. This is a Celtics podcast. Enough about the Lakers. Steve, you wanna recap how the Lakers did in the playoffs?
Last year, they got swept by the Nuggets.
No, yeah, but you know what we're talking about. How did the series go?
They were closer than I remember. But
yeah, that's what I
also,
thought.
the Suns beat the Nuggets twice, and the Timberwolves beat the Nuggets once last year, and the Lakers couldn't come up with one against them. So I would argue that other teams played the Nuggets better because they won games against the Nuggets. They didn't come close to winning games against the Nuggets. They won games against the Nuggets.
Yeah, but what about the rest of the series? And that, like, I bet the Suns lost by double digits multiple times the rest of the series.
Well, the Lakers lost by double digits once too. So.
Once in 4 games.
I mean, close doesn't win you a title. Do the Celtics got a title against the Warriors?
That's not what I said. The Lakers played the Warriors about as close as possible as any other team.
No, they didn't because they lost all 4.
I don't like that argument.
Against a 16-4 team in the playoffs, though, you know.
Yeah, well, they lost 4 games, and the Lakers didn't win any of those.
I was just saying that to start all this, I just said I think they're a contender.
Yeah, and Steve doesn't think so, even though they just took the IST, and like I said, they did play I don't care what Steve says. They did play the Nuggets pretty tough.
Losing to the Nuggets, like, it could mean you're the second or third best team in the league.
Yeah, definitely. But the team that got bested by the Lakers, the Pacers, knocked the Celtics out 112 to 122. Celtics just couldn't keep up with the young and hungry Pacers. The pace was too much. Halliburton going crazy. That was his first triple-double ever.
Yeah, I think something like that.
That's an insane stat. That's crazy.
A shitload of like 8 assist games or something like that where nobody can put the biscuit in the basket.
Yeah. He's playing his ass off this year. But anything to talk about in that Pacers game? Anything take away other than, it sucks that we got knocked out. But
I feel like they didn't win, but I feel like this whole tournament was just a Halliburton showing. Honestly, just kind of like announcing that he's just like the real deal. Honestly, he's just an offensive machine, which is always fun. Like the pace, it's such a contrast too with the I need to circle the Pacers and like the Nuggets on like the schedule because I want to see Tyrese and Jokic just absolutely battle their pacing. Like it's Jokic be like, nope, we're going back down to my pace, and then Tyrese is just gonna shoot out anytime there's a rebound.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's interesting. Like that's the 2 opposite sides. I think Jokic plays as slow as anyone ever has, and then Tyrese, like when he just does not let up. Like when we're in our loss, it was just they just fast break anytime we make a mistake, just
up and down the court,
zoom. Yeah. It's almost like when we play Tyrese. It's just like zoom.
Yeah, Tyrese Maxey. Yeah. Steve, anything on that?
I mean, no Porzingis in that game. I think that would have helped us slow down the pace a little bit. And it was just an off shooting night. I mean, nobody hit the 3 for the Celtics at all that night. And, when you get outshot on the 3, I think we lost 21 points on the 3-point line to them. Like, you're not going to win that game. And it's tough to win games in the NBA now if you're not going to shoot the 3 well. Doesn't mean that like I'm worried about them in the playoffs or anything like that. Like everything's gonna slow down a little bit in the playoffs. So they're gonna want to play fast, but like you're not if you can't play defense in the playoffs, like you're not gonna win. That's why I'm not worried about them in the playoffs. And it was also interesting. It was Tyrese Halliburton's first game on national television. Like he'd never played one before that, and he just came out and he just absolutely mollywopped the Celtics by himself, and
Hmm.
then went out there and just took over for the entire tournament, basically.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. I feel like the IST, the championship final was about as, like I said, if it wasn't the Celtics Lakers matchup, two title contenders or one title contender and another like deep run playoff team. I mean LeBron James is in the final. You know you can't beat that for Adam Silver, but you know
Adam Silver was coming in his pants. I mean, like you got fucking LeBron James, the Lakers, one of the most all-time historic franchises in the final. Then you got an up-and-comer, a young team that's fun, plays fast, shoots the ball. Like it was the best of both worlds for him.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I think the IST is designed to do is to show off the mix of like these playoff contenders nationally who people have seen, you know, the cream of the crop when it comes to the league, and then like a young and hungry team with a potential, if not an already arrived young superstar in Tyrese Halliburton, and a young team that you know is not a title favorite, but it is hoping to make some noise in the playoffs this year. Like you said, that's his first national game. Like, so people have never seen him play.
No, anybody outside of League Pass owners have never seen him play.
Yeah, yeah. So it was like it's just good exposure, and I you know
Or
if
us
that's what
stream
this IST brings, it's good.
or Stream East heads too. I've watched them a bit, but I don't have
Those
the.
real sickos that want to watch Pacers games on a freaking Thursday night, like yeah, we'll watch them. But
This year it's been this year. Honestly, watching the Pacers isn't even much of a sicko activity. Like he's been
No,
throwing
they're
half,
good.
he's like throwing like half court oops to your man Obi.
Mhm.
It's fun as hell watching them.
Yeah,
One last thing, Aaron Neesmith revenge game.
yeah, he had 10 points in the fourth quarter. He
I
had 12
like him.
points in the game. He had 10 in the fourth. This dude Crash was getting after it.
Yeah, he unlike Romeo Langford, another guy who we had hope for. I think Neesmith can actually be like a piece in this league. Not a top three guy, but
Like
you
a
know,
really good bench piece though. Like a guy who can get you some threes, plays defense, has tons of energy. He just
absolutely.
never had any opportunity on the Celtics. That's all it was.
Yeah,
I feel like he gets so many blocks for some reason. Like I feel like he's just athletic and long, which and also decent shooting.
Tatum absolutely yammed one on him last year though.
Yeah.
I will say it was just a when it came to the final game, the Lakers versus the Pacers. It did just feel like the more talented team won.
Yeah.
Uh,
And AD went off too, which is good to see for the Lakers, I bet, because he's been a bit weird.
and how about LeBron showing out? Like he wanted to win this. Like you could tell he was thirsty for it.
The competitive spirit of these guys really took over in this tournament. Like even that, like we watched ours. It was the first knockout game of the whole IST, and it felt like a playoff atmosphere. That place
Definitely.
was absolutely bumping. I loved that. I'm
Yeah.
all in on the tournament after that.
Yeah, that was great. That was
It's
great.
That
like you
must
get
be
that playoff atmosphere like early in the season.
Mhm.
dude, that's huge for a team like the Pacers that have never had that, or even just like, or even like LeBron got a new crew of like role players. Like always, you can kind of put some of them to the test, and then before the trade deadline, and then he's like, okay, this guy doesn't really operate well in a playoff setting. Get out of here.
Oh, that's a great wrinkle you just brought up. Like you like putting guys under pressure and seeing who
Yeah,
and that could raise and lower stock on trades. That's
yeah.
a great point. I hope they expand the tournament next year so we can see more guys like that.
Yeah.
What I was thinking is that like I think you could keep the groups of four, but to like prevent maybe like the Magic situation of not being able to even compete for it. I think maybe like did you guys talk about like the losers bracket, like the two like best that didn't make it out of the weird selection get to play to get in maybe? Like that'd be cool if they could do that. Like have
Have a couple
another
play-ins.
like a
Like a
play-in
play in.
one.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, if it's everything's a one game knockout, then a play-in is just another round of the playoffs. So you might as well just expand it and let those guys get in.
You could
It's
get
not like a play-in to get into the playoffs.
you could give the top team a bye
Well,
and
that'd
then
be cool.
yeah, and then they
But
play into the fourth spot, like the
The
I'd
product's
like to
not
see them
finished.
expand it, and then
yeah,
I'd like to see them like more teams, more games.
yeah.
Maybe take out conferences. Like maybe extend this to past to like maybe February, right before the trade deadline. Finish up there.
Hmm,
You know,
interesting.
I think that would be kind of fun, and like you could end up with some crazy matchups. So you could have like the Lakers versus the Celtics in like a first round matchup or something like that. And, just weird shit like that can happen.
I think, it was just it was a good showing, a good first trial run, if you want to call it. I mean, it's not a trial; it's a real thing. But this is not going to be the final form. We all know that. Um, I can't wait to see what they do for it next year because I want the Celtics to win this thing now. But
One more
speak
thing is,
good.
I would say put it all in Vegas, like do all your games in Vegas. But unless you add games to the season, I don't think the owners are going to be behind that because that's taking away money out of their pockets that they're making on concessions at their own home courts and everything like that.
Interesting.
That's the only way. That's the only thing that I would see wrong with making it bigger.
Why would let's just say like I
If
don't
you
know
did
how this would
everything in
work.
Vegas, then like Wick Grossbeck, like all the money that he would usually make off of all these games being played in Boston, now they're all being played in Vegas. Like you're cutting back on the profit for the owners, and I think that's why the owners would push back against that.
What if they when they let's just say that they eventually move a team to Vegas within the next year or two?
Which they're
What if
trying
they
to
do?
do.
What if they do like a revenue share?
Wasn't LeBron talking about that, like for himself to like
He
own
wanted to
one?
be a part owner in something in Vegas when he retires, yeah. That would be interesting, or like if your team wins,
Home
like if
court
your team
advantage for
continues to
them.
win, you start they'll send a kickback to the team
Hmm.
or not, and then if you lose, you go home to play anyways.
Yeah, yeah. That's gonna be interesting to see how that works though, because I do think that felt like that stadium is huge. It looks really nice. I think that's primed and ready to go for a professional team, male team, because there's
Yes,
the Las Vegas
yeah.
Aces.
And
Um,
Golden Knights. I don't know if they play there though. I don't know if they
Good
have their own
question.
stadium or not. I don't know if they do it like the Garden where they swap everything out.
Uh, Moving on. Speaking of talent disparities and trade deadline, the Celtics played the Knicks at home, beat them 133 to 123. The Knicks wouldn't go away for the first whole half, and then the Celtics just started. The vaunted third quarter came, and everybody was sweating, and was like, "Uh oh, here come the Knicks. They're gonna, make it close." And they sort of never got close. They did go on a bit of a run at the end of the third quarter, but it was to cut the deficit from like 20 to 10, and they just never recovered after that. Uh, any takeaways from that game? Porzingis
Porzingis,
was back.
he makes a huge difference.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he was like 7 of 8 in the first half. I think he ended up like 9 of 11. I think for the game for 20 something points. That was pretty wild.
Yeah, he was so efficient. The whole team just shifts, and Bill Simmons said it in the tweet, and it was very dogmatic and kind of like angsty. He's like, the Celtics are not a contender without Porzingis. It's like, okay, yeah, no shit.
I think we are still.
I don't know. I don't think we
Well,
beat the
last year we
Nuggets.
didn't have him, and we were
Yeah,
a game short of the finals.
but we had Grant and Marcus, and there's nothing
Well,
to
now
take
we have
us.
Drew, and Derek White's actually is playing unbelievable. I mean, he was the leading scorer for the game. He had 30.
Yeah, but you see how this team. You just said it. You just see how this team
They
gels
play
when he's
better.
in there.
They play better, but I mean, it doesn't mean that you're not going to be have a shot at a title without him. Like,
All right, let's hear the argument. Will you think we beat the Nuggets without Porzingis?
no, I mean, you have a shot. I mean, I don't think
All right.
anybody beats the Nuggets without being unbelievably perfect. Like the Nuggets are just a well-oiled machine, but like you, you gotta make it to the dance. When you're
Yeah.
gonna with Jalen and Jason, we've been perennial Eastern Conference Finals contenders. So you get all the way to Eastern Conference Finals. I don't think anybody in the East can beat us even without Porzingis. And you go to the finals and just see what happens. I mean, I don't think anybody on the Nuggets can guard Jason or Jalen, but I mean, then on the other end, you got
They
Jokic
have
who can give you
MPJ.
40, 20, and 20 because he's a fucking god on there. So, I mean, it's like, I think that you still have a shot, but obviously your chances drop significantly without a guy who's going to give you 25 a game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not just that, right? Porzingis goes out. That means Al Horford's slotted to start, and he's 38 years old. Like he's not going to be able to put up a starting season, and he's going to run out of steam. You saw it a little bit this last week when he was starting against the Pacers, and that pace, it's not. He's just old. He's still a great player. He was huge the past without when Porzingis was out. He was huge for us, clutch minutes and everything. He still has it, but I don't know how long he has it for, especially in like a deep playoff run. So, not only do you lose your guy who's a he transforms the entire game, the offense and the defensive game plan just by being in. You lose that. You're playing old Al Horford in his stead, so you might you're down. Your center depth is really really small at that point. So yeah, I do agree with Simmons's point. Really, this team's going to hinge on Porzingis staying healthy. I do agree with what you said. Like, of course, you have a puncher's chance, and just because Porzingis goes out doesn't mean what if God forbid Jokic goes out, or
Yeah,
Jamal goes out again,
injuries
or
happen.
anybody in the East, Giannis goes out or whatever. Like, you never know.
Yeah,
That's the thing. It is a concern. But also that's every single team in the league. Like I don't think there's any teams that if they lost one of their three or four best players, they'd like contend well against the other. You know what I mean? Unless like there's injuries around the league. Like I'd say we're the best. We're one of the best. Like what Steve was saying, we're one of the best to deal with an injury. But I think an injury could kill any team. There's like you look at the Suns. They're like yeah, or even the Nuggets. Like if they lose AJ like Aaron Gordon for a whole playoffs, like they're done.
Yeah, but
So
see, I feel like if we lost a guy like Drew Holiday, we'd be fine. Not
we're the
fine. We'd be
best.
worse off. But
We talked about this a couple episodes ago. We're the best equipped to handle losing a top two or three
yeah,
guys. As long as you don't lose Tatum, you're still gonna have a great shot. I mean, if you lose Brown for playoffs, like you still have Porzingis, Holiday, and T. White.
I still don't think I think you can't lose three guys in the Celtics starting five. Tatum, obviously, Porzingis, and Derek White. I don't think you can lose
Derek
any of
White.
those guys.
Derek White, low key, might be the second most important guy on the team, and he doesn't even
He's
look like it most nights.
so understated, man. I mean, the Knicks game, 30 points. That's his highest scoring game ever, 30 points. People shouting MVP for him at the free throw line at the end of the game.
it's very matchup oriented too, though. Because I mean, we'd need Porzingis more if we're facing another massive dude. But if we're playing like a tiny team, like if we're playing the Heat, we might get away with not having Porzingis. But other than that,
I would like that Porzingis against the Heat just because Bam Adebayo.
yeah,
It's kind of just a neutralizer between the two of them. Although Bam kind of gave him the business last time we played.
I'd like to have everyone.
Yeah, ideally. But yeah, anything from that Knicks game you want to take away besides Porzingis, the Porzingis effect, we'll call it.
I mean, D. White had 30, and like
Jalen's ejection.
talking about it. Yeah, Jalen got tossed on the softest shit I've ever seen in my life because he waved at a guy. Like, to get out of your feelings.
Unbelievable. The refs,
That
man,
is-
they just so bad.
There's not many better vibes than a good Derek White game though. Like it's just so fun and happy. Like everyone's like happy for it. Everyone on Twitter is going crazy. Hey, Derek White's it's just like I don't know. Everyone likes him. It seems in the whole league. I don't even know. It's just
He seems like such a great guy.
yeah. It just feels great. Yeah.
Halliburton doesn't like him.
Yeah. It's,
You see that Halliburton like took him inside and like finished the layup over him, and then he did like too small to him right in his face.
too many too smalls now. We gotta change it up.
Yeah, Derek White's not even small.
Yeah.
He's
No.
pretty tall for a guard.
Yeah.
Well, they did that, and then I think somebody got a bucket on him on the other end, and his O'Shea Brissett did the too small on the bench, and then he stomped on it.
Yeah.
Afterwards, I was like, oh,
It's the
it
next
got
level.
spicy in that game.
The next level of too small.
It got spicy. That was really fun.
That's going to be an interesting playoff matchup if the Pacers make it. You
I
know,
hope
Dude,
they
some early 2000s energy. Celtics Pacers again.
Speaking of playoff match, well, let's talk about it. I floated this idea out to the group chat when we played the Knicks. I wanted to start off by saying, where do we think this Knicks team will finish? What is their ceiling as is? Jacob, what do you think?
That's kind of what I kind of under that asked like the top four thing because I don't think they're top four. They're probably like I think they're like probably the sixth in the East by the end of this. Unless they make a big trade, I think they're like sixth
And
record.
do you think they make it out of the first or second or to the second round or?
The thing is, no. If they're in the bottom half, they'd have to be 4 or 5 to make it out. I don't think they beat one of the top three. So they'd have to have a same setup as last year where they're facing a fraud team. Like which I don't think they will. So I don't know. I don't think the Knicks make it out of the first round unless they do with the trade you've proposed.
And Steve, what about you?
I mean, I think like the sixth is probably about where I would put them at. You know, I don't think that they're really going to do much outside of that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, they're
and once
12 and
again,
9.
They're gonna have to face a team that's not great to really get going on that.
They are scrappy. I mean, I do think they can beat any team on a given night. I just don't think they're winning a series against any of these super talented teams.
They'll turn everything into a fucking rock fight. That's for sure.
Definitely, definitely.
That's great for the
Oh,
playoffs. Thibodeau is a good
oh,
coach for the playoffs. He likes defense. He doesn't mind playing slow, but I just don't think they have the guns. Like if Randall has a inefficient night, you gotta rely on Brunson, and Brunson's really good, but like you only gotta have two guys, and if one of them has an inefficient night, yeah, Brunson's gonna get picked on defense all night long too. So
dude, imagine they 6-3. They face the Sixers first round and they bounce the Sixers. That'd be amazing.
and B's gonna join them next year.
I'd love them to face the. I don't know that'd be great. I want us to lock the number one seed so we don't have to face a team like the Knicks in the first round.
Mhm.
That's actually pretty damn important in my opinion. Like
Yeah,
it'd be awesome if the Bucks or the Sixers have to face them in the first round. Like imagine if to get to us, teams have to play like the Knicks and then the Cavs and then us. Like that'd be pretty gnarly. I mean the Cavs, I don't know, they're weird, but or like maybe even the Magic if they're like lower too. But if we're like 1-8 and then that'd be amazing.
so I don't. I think we are all on the same page here, where they're going to be an early exit in the playoffs, regardless. They're just capped out, but I think they want their content. They think they're contenders, and there is a decent kind of grouping of talent there with Brunson, with Randall, with RJ and Quentin Grimes and oh my God, who's their center? He can't shoot free
Mitchell
throws.
Robinson.
Mitchell Robinson. Yeah, but they are capped, and so I propose, how do we fix the Knicks? If you were the GM of them today, what would you do to try and get them a higher ceiling than their first round exit, which is what we all kind of predict them at. So Steve, I their upcoming free agents are Isaiah Hartenstein. He makes 8 million this year. Emmanuel Quickly, who's an RFA, and Evan Fournier on a $19 million expiring contract. Thanks, New York. That come right off our books, dummies.
I
But
remember when that was a loss for us.
yeah,
That and the Kemba thing. We're like, what?
yep, they ate those salaries. Steve, what's your plan to fix the Knicks?
I sent it over in the chat, in the doc,
I can't tell which
right
one.
underneath your picture. I had a
So
couple.
so you said the possible trade of Quentin Grimes plus RJ and picks for Mikal Bridges and a reliable wing. Who would that be?
Did I say in a reliable wing? I think I just meant like a more reliable scoring wing. Like that's our Bridges is a more reliable scorer than RJ is.
Yeah.
And you have to throw in a little bit extra because you're going to get a better player, obviously. So you throw in a couple picks in that. You get more scoring on the wing. RJ's streaky. I like RJ Barrett, but he's real streaky. He'll have games where he only takes 3 or 4 shots too. You just can't have that on a wing. Um, so Mikal Bridges is a much better scorer than he is, and you can if you do that with the Randall trade that I put in there too, where you trade Randall, Grimes,
And three
and
firsts for Nikola Vucevic and Alex Caruso.
yeah, which I don't know if the Bulls would say yes to that, but the Bulls are trying to blow it up. You're getting 3 first-round picks. You're getting still scoring, so you can pretend like you're relevant with Randall, and then you're also getting Quentin Grimes to replace some guard play. Maybe he can develop into something for you.
He could play so. Your starting five for your first trade would be Brunson, Mikal, RJ.
Hale, no,
No, not
RJ,
RJ.
Randall, if you haven't traded him yet, and Robinson,
That's four.
and then
What about like Josh Hart?
Josh Hart or whichever one of your other guards that you want to put in there.
Yeah, and then your next starting five would be if you took your
Trade
next trade.
trade Randall, then you're gonna have Vucevic, Robinson,
Brunson.
Brunson, Mikal Bridges, and then Caruso.
No, no,
Or
you wouldn't have Mikal Bridges in that one.
well, yeah, if you didn't make that trade, then
You'd have RJ.
you have Vucevic, RJ, Robinson, Brunson, and Grimes or whatever guard you have left over Hart.
Hmm.
Neither one of
Interesting.
them.
Jacob,
But
what's your plan?
the first part of my plan is the most important part is to shoot James Dolan into the sun.
Well, that ain't
Then
happening.
you can keep going.
That ain't happening. He ain't going nowhere. He's like the most powerful owner in the goddamn league.
It's gross.
My brain immediately went my brain immediately went uh Jazz too, just because they have so many like long guys, and they kind of seem like a team that has to kind of blow it up in some way. But one like sneaky blow up team. What if the Grizzlies just blow it up and they traded like Randall and a bunch of people for JJJ?
I see that. I don't know if that makes them better. JJJ didn't really take any type of step forward. I'd probably rather have Randall than JJJ right now.
I don't know. I just feel like I feel like Mitchell Robinson at least is like great for JJJ next to him. I don't know. I know Randall. I don't know Randall in a way. I guess Jaren Jackson's weird vibes wise to like Randall, but Randall just has that like stink on him. I don't know. I don't think you can win with Randall as like your top three. I don't know why.
Me
No, he
neither.
got
I
big
don't think
stink.
he.
He misses a
Yeah.
couple shots in a row. Like he just lollygags
He
up the
like
court.
and he shoots out a double. Like he's a empty stats kind of guy.
He's a black hole when the ball goes to him on the post or out in the wing. Like it's not coming out.
Or maybe they could go younger and like try to get some Pistons players like Duran.
I mean, if I was gonna trade with the Grizzlies, I'd try and get like um, maybe who's their shooting guard over there? Brandon Clark. I know he just got
No,
in, but
Oh,
he's a
Ben.
power forward. Desmond Bain.
I try to get Bain and Clark out of them.
They also have Luke Kennard, who'd
Yeah,
be a decent
maybe.
addition.
Yeah, I mean, you already got your defensive center with Robinson. You don't really need another one of those.
He's like a nullity on offense, though. So that's the thing you need to build with.
He's a good
It's like
role,
how Robert Williams was when he was on the team. Like he doesn't really have an offensive game.
but he works great with Brunson. I think as a pick and roll because Brunson likes to get to that mid range, and if you can get Robinson to roll all the way to the rim, Brunson can get into that mid range and operate.
What about Pascal Siakam?
I
Yeah,
think they want too much for him though, and I don't think they're going to take Randall.
Well, yeah, they'd have to. I think the Knicks would have to send another young good guy, but
like IQ or something.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
you got to hold on to IQ at all costs. He's like one of your only guys that's got any upside as a young player.
Yeah, but he's gonna walk. I think he's gonna try and get a starting gig. I don't think he wants to come off the bench, and he's not gonna beat up Brunson.
He'll start as a second guard with Brunson, I think. Who's their starting two guard right now?
RJ Barrett.
Yeah, he'll start over Barrett eventually.
Um, I don't know about that. That you say that so cavalier. I don't know if that's the case. They
Yeah, I
had
think Quigley is much better than RJ Barrett. I think they're about done with the RJ Barrett
well that
experience.
that's he might I don't maybe that's the thing. I think my trade is contingent upon that a little bit too, moving IQ up to maybe a starter for and maybe not, maybe running him with the second unit. I think that would be nice. So my trade is with the Jazz. The Knicks send Julius Randle, Fournier, Evan Fournier, sorry, and Isaiah Hartenstein in 3 picks, 2 in the first round of this year's draft and a second-round pick for Jordan Clarkson, Laurie Markkinen, and Kelly Olynyk. The Jazz are like in 12th place right now, maybe 11th place in the West. they're sucking pond water. They're not doing too good. And Laurie Markkinen is a all-star from last year. I think he can shoot the ball. He's a little bit, dare I say, more consistent offensively than Randall is at this juncture. They get a 6 Man of the Year candidate in Jordan Clarkson a few years ago to go with IQ, maybe off that second unit, or you could swap them out to start with that and move RJ back, like bump him up to the forward spot because he can go in between. And then you have another stretch big, so you have a lot of flexibility with Olynyk, who can stretch the floor with Mitchell Robinson. You can swap players in and out of that lineup, and you don't really lose a lot of front end talent by swapping Randall for Markkinen. I think that makes them a lot better of a team than they are currently.
Yeah, I think it's all contingent on whether or not Utah wants to move on from Markkinen because I mean that's their first All Star since fucking Gordon Hayward. Like they,
Maybe
I can't remember the last time they ever had a good player in Utah.
Dylan Williams,
Oh, Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell, yeah, and Rudy
dude,
Gobert.
it's Ainge though. He could do whatever, man. If there's a crazy good deal, Ainge would do it.
I don't know
Yeah,
how good of a deal. He'd want more picks than that. Ainge loves his picks. He might want 18 picks for Markkinen.
I tell you what, if I'm the Knicks, I'd throw in all the picks he wants. Fuck yeah,
Oh
sure,
yeah,
take them.
if you can
Bring
get
Randall and a
that.
couple picks. Yeah.
Danny loves hoarding picks, man. So
What's your starting lineup with that trade? What is it? Is it Quickly, Brunson, Markkinen,
See, I don't think I'd start.
or you start Clarkson?
I think I'd do Brunson. Interesting. I have to think about it. Brunson, RJ, Markkinen, Olenek, and Mitchell Robinson.
Big lineup.
That's a big lineup, but
That's a
I
big
mean,
lineup. And you got
that's what you
Quickly
need
and
to be.
Quickly
You have Quickly,
and Clarkson
Clarkson, and Hart, and then
coming
uh,
off the bench.
yeah, whoever what's the they have a guy named like Knicks or whatever. I forget his name.
Bo, not Bo.
No,
Not both.
I can't remember his name.
Much
He's like
larger.
no, Jericho Sims is who I was thinking of. They could
Yeah.
start him as a backup big and Hartenstein's play. I don't think they're missing too much there. I don't know. They have flexibility. It's you'd have to it fluctuate on a night to night basis, but for sure you'd start Markkinen and Brunson.
Yeah, that's a fun lineup. So you can spread the floor a lot with that and have Robinson just roll to the rim.
Yeah, my point is you got to have more offensive scoring when Mitchell Robinson is just not an option.
Yeah, and Randall's not efficient enough at it. And RJ's too streaky. The only guy that you have that's consistently a bucket on that team is Brunson. And in the playoffs, he's going to be about a net neutral because he's going to get attacked every time on defense.
And then again, on the background, there's always if the Sixers don't make any noise, then hope for Joel Embiid.
Hold out.
Yeah.
The out salary for Joel Embiid, basically.
So I think the Knicks, they hit me up. Dolan, hit me up. Pay me if you have. You don't even have to pay me the salary you're paying your current GM. I'll fix your team for you. I'll hop on the phone. I'll start wheeling and dealing.
Yeah, we promise that we're not biased to the Celtics, and we promise we're not going to give them, Jalen Brunson for a bag of balls. Or
you could pay me enough money to the point where I would do like I would not be biased to the
oh,
Celtics.
it wouldn't even have to be that much for me. Like if
Yeah,
you're going to pay me to do something with basketball, like yeah, okay, I'll fuck everybody else. This is my team.
exactly. Yeah, I'm the biggest Knicks fan you've ever met.
I was born in the Bronx. I was raised in Queens.
Anything else on that? We fixed the Knicks. We went over the past week. We discussed the IST. What else?
I got nothing really. It was a pretty slow week.
Definitely. I
Yeah,
mean,
it
just
feels like the All-Star break almost, like where there's not many games around it.
Nothing till Tuesday.
I guess in sort of personal big news, Jacob is very happy to bring up the fact that I'm taking my first L in fantasy. I'm losing. I'm trying to share my screen. Where is share the screen?
You've been bodying us every week though when we've been recapping. It's been always like, Cody won. Did Steven Jacob lose again?
I'm getting it's a nail biter. 697 to 663. I'm losing to Chunkies. Shout out to Chunkies. Dan the man, the worst team in the league. Getting his second win against me on this truncated week due to the IST. I mean, what can you do? What can you do about that? I mean,
games yesterday, no games today, dude. That killed me too.
Yeah, we're just it's. I mean, congratulations, you get a win when you can. Beating the best team in the league is not an easy thing, no matter what you do, no matter what week it is. So, good for him. Just a tough week with IST and injuries and stuff. Let's look at Jacob. Congratulations, you're going back to 500.
Let's go.
Is that 500? What do you is that? Would that be 500? 3-3-1.
Oh man,
I think
that's
so.
about as 500 as you can get. I think you get half a win
Yeah,
and half
yeah.
a loss for a tie.
It's actually it's impressive. I'm 500 after 7 games, honestly.
You're still in it. Frankie is thoroughly becoming the worst team in the league. He famously asked if he should accept my trade of Reggie Jackson for fucking who the hell?
5 guys.
Was that Maxey? I think it was like Tyrese Maxey. Steve. Oh, tough week. That was close.
I don't know what happened. I don't know if guys were just missing games or what, but I mean, there was a couple nights where I look at the December 5th. I don't know what the fuck happened on that one. I got blown out. I blew him out on the 4th. He didn't even score a point, and I still ended up losing. I don't know how that happened.
It's the IST, man. What can you do?
All the Knicks players. I think the Knicks players played every fucking night this week.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it really depended on who you had.
I'm 500. He's 500. Jacob's 501.
Yeah, I'm going to 800. Let's look at next week's
Who's
Schedule.
smoking me next week, huh?
I
It was
have Joke Me Off. It's going to be a tough matchup.
Oh. Yeah, you have to face Joker. That's always really bad in fantasy.
Ooh, you're facing Chef Dub and the Whites.
Yeah,
I would love to have Derek White on my team.
that'd be awesome.
Next week
And
we should do a.
Steve and Jimmy.
Oh, Jimmy's gonna fucking rock my shit. Don't tell him. Nobody tell the fucking dirty postmaster over there that I'm gonna fucking get my teeth kicked in.
Just remember to set your lineup.
Yeah, it's not gonna help me out much. We should do next week. We should do how can we fix Steve's fucking fantasy team.
Well, let's look at your team. Where are you getting your most value from?
Fucking, I thought I have a really good team, and I don't know. I keep losing. I don't.
Booker, he just doesn't play enough. He was a tough pick, especially when Halliburton was still floating there. Well, actually, he wasn't. I just took him right before you. Sorry.
Yeah, Cam Thomas was killing it for me early in the season. Then he kind of just slowed down after the ankle injury.
You're getting a lot of production here. Valanciunas, Ingram, Alperen Sengun. That was a pretty good pick.
Yeah, I just stole that from you from last year.
Yeah, but he's taking the leap.
Well, freaking Donovan Mitchell, I feel like misses a lot of games too.
I was gonna say, I assume you're just getting screwed mostly by Devin Booker.
Yeah, that's definitely it. And
Like
Terry's been injured too.
Terry's out for like 2 or 3 weeks off the rip.
Your
thought my
team's
team
not
was
bad.
good. I mean, does anybody want Harrison Barnes?
No.
I pick him every year in fantasy. Like, yeah, he's gonna be all right.
Actually, I might trade you Osar Thompson for him.
There's definitely. I'm gonna go look. There are like definitely wings that average over 21 points that you could pick up.
Definitely.
He's getting 28, isn't he? Oh no, that's the percentage.
Like you get Duncan Robinson, man.
So I need a point guard. I have 1 point guard in my entire roster.
You got to learn to drop some of these guys like Toppin. You got to learn to cycle them out.
No,
you should get Kyle Lowry. He's 26 a game.
I hate Kyle Lowry though.
Yeah, that's probably why no one has him.
This is the problem with me in fantasy. Like I fucking hate that guy. I don't want
you gotta want your desire to win has to be better than your vitriol for these players.
Dude, Joel Embiid won me last week, so
Jacob, let's look at where you're getting value from. Desmond Bain.
Yeah, Bain was huge. Bain had like a 90.1 like game last week because of
this tail end right. I would say this up is really good. Just a lot of good talent.
Malik Monk gets you points like that.
Malik Monk's having a good year.
Mike Conley's still putting up points like that.
Yeah, the number one team in basketball.
I was gonna say he's like the distributor on. He never gets his turnovers either. It's great.
Yeah, see, that's why I would never be any good at fantasy. But he's old. He can't play.
I mean, you do have an old team.
You want Harrison Barnes for Mike Conley?
No.
The average age of your team must be like 30.
Yeah.
With Bain and like Collins being the youngest.
Yeah, you got
Jones.
You got Durant, Embiid, Holiday.
I mean, he's 30 per game, but I feel like I've gotten a pretty little out of Jared Allen too. I could get way more.
You got 42-year-old Buddy Hield on your team too.
Mm-hmm.
Is Joel Embiid the number one player in basketball? Fantasy basketball?
Oh, you
number
probably
2.
No, who do you think's one, man?
Oh, it's Jokic.
Yeah,
that's
true.
He probably averages like 70 a game, dude.
That's funny. That's good. That's good.
I bet Luka's 3, I bet.
See, I'm gonna look it up. I think my guy might be close. I mean, I'm getting a shit ton of value out of one guy right here.
Yeah, he's a second point guard at least.
Yeah,
Luka must be a point guard in fantasy. Yeah.
That's
Zion Williamson. You might want to trade this big boy.
But then fucking Devin Booker isn't.
Yeah, I don't know.
My team, they're good, but there's just I don't know. There's like just something missing. I think I got to package some of these guys.
Dude, don't you have the best record in the league?
Yeah. I was just say what's missing.
I don't
Dude,
know,
he's not
man.
like a
Like,
Celtics fan on Twitter right now. Like we're 16-5, and if you just read Celtics fans on Twitter, you'd think that we were like struggling to break 500. Like,
Yeah.
well,
hey, I'll take one of those point guards off your hands if you want to get rid of one. I'll give you a
interesting.
Harrison.
My
Barnes.
phones are open. No, I don't want Harrison Barnes.
Oh, he only averages 2 less points.
No one wants Harrison Barnes, Steve.
You got to make it worth my while.
Yeah, he only averages 2 less points. Come on.
I
I'll give
know,
you
buddy.
Harrison Barnes and a couple of picks. How about that?
Absolutely not. Let's do a quick grid.
Quick grid.
All right, top left.
Steven Jackson.
We got Dallas Mavericks and the Spurs. You said stack?
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay. I thought he played for the Mavericks, but I guess he didn't.
For the Mavericks middle, how about you go?
Mavericks, who's averaging
Oh, yeah,
5
yeah.
boards per game.
Yeah, Eric Dampier.
How the hell do you spell Eric Dampier?
I don't know. Maybe just do Dampier.
Oh, good pull.
It's got a weird shaped head.
I just remember him.
Milk dud asshead.
He was on the Heat for a bit. And I just remember him like subbing in and just being like the biggest human ever.
Go down to the bottom left and do Steven Jackson. He had to have 25 in a playoff game, right?
You could also do T-Mac too.
Where am I putting it?
Bottom left.
T-Mac?
No, do Stephen Jackson.
Good pull.
I was just watching. I was just watching all the smoke earlier, so I was like, "Oh, stack." Good pull.
Or like Orlando Blackman for that. Oh, Orlando, yeah.
Oh,
Delonte West make 2 All-Star games? Delonte West make any All-Star games?
no.
I don't know, but did Nick Van Axel make 2? That's my classic answer. What about Peja?
For what? For the Mavs?
Right again. Yeah, did he make 2?
Ooh. Hell of a pull.
Asia. That's right. Average.
Top
like
left,
this.
how about Avery Johnson?
Nice. Tiago Splitter? I don't know. Splitter never played for the Rockets, I don't think, though.
Tiago Splitter.
For the very middle, could we try Shane Battier?
Ooh. Nice.
Great. 2-time All-Star, 5-point playoff game.
Oh no, what is his name?
That could be like anyone so random. We could get a really good.
Oh,
We should like leave that for the last, just for like percentage draft.
We should fuck with it now and see how low we can get
what
on it
is his
before we save
name?
the last one.
Oh crap.
Yeah, true.
He's the point guard.
Yeah.
Played in the 2000s.
Francis? I don't know.
Yeah, Steve Francis, yeah.
He just
Stiff. Too high.
You could also think like way back.
Yeah, I'm
Like-
gonna be high too.
Moses Malone. Clyde Drexler.
Ooh, Malone.
True. What about like Scola for the middle too? Actually, we should. I don't know. Shane's like pretty. That's pretty hard to beat at 1%.
Oh, I just had one for the bottom right too. Fuck. Brain went fucking dark on that one. Toronto Williams was a bucket.
We could even do like we can do some so random from bottom right. Like, did Antoine?
Anton Jameson, that's a good one.
I was about to say Walker too, but
No, that's a milk dud ass head.
Did Jeff Hornacek make 2 All-Star games? No. How about Dan Marley?
wait, should we save the bottom middle? Because I feel like we can get a
No.
good percentage no
Hey,
matter what.
Oh, damn, Marley.
Should we save the bottom middle? Because I feel like that we can guaranteed get a rainbow, but middle left, I don't think we can guarantee. Like, we might need to try that a bit.
Yeah.
I think bottom middle, we just have to be careful and pick the most random person ever. But how about Artist Gilmore for that? I feel like he might be. Actually, wait, I think that's the Bulls now, but
Try it anyways.
yeah,
Not like we have a certain amount of guesses we need to hit.
yeah.
Rockets, Spurs.
Bellinelli.
Bellinelli's always such a great guess. He played for fucking everybody. Rajah Bell? I don't think so, but I don't know any fucking Rockets or Spurs players. Ish Smith? Definitely didn't play for them.
I think he did for the Rockets, but
Rudy Gay?
Oh, I don't know if he played for the Rockets, did he?
Rockets, though.
No.
Luis Scola? I don't know if he ever made his way over to the no. And Powell never made his way to the Rockets either. Oh man.
Can we think of any of them? Any Spurs Rockets players?
Tracy McGrady.
T-Mac, yeah. Shit.
what about like Courtney Lee?
Courtney
Yeah,
Lee.
He might be high, but
Oh, could have sworn he did. Jeff, no, not Jeff Green. Gerald Green. Oh fuck.
Who played for the Spurs and the Rockets?
Who's the French guy?
Borstia.
Yeah, I don't think he ever played for the Rockets, but
Who's the guy with no ACLs?
oh fuck, what the fuck is his name?
Kind of like an undersized big.
Andre Blatch.
No.
Oh fuck. Jacob, what's his name?
what Nate? What guy? DeJuan Blair?
No, there you go.
Jesus Christ, of course he fucking knows it.
That's funny. No.
Fucking half asleep over here, like, yeah, DeJuan Blair, fucking
I don't know if we're going to come up with anything better than T-Mac.
Andre Blatch.
No.
Did Brew ever touch him?
Corey Brewer. Dougie McDermott.
No. Oh, wait a minute. Who is the white guy from Wisconsin? Kind of big, could shoot.
Decker?
No, not Sam Decker. He had like
Or Frank Kaminsky?
Kaminsky. Yeah, that's. Did he have a stint?
Decker was a good guess though too.
Decker did play for the Rockets, but I don't know if he ever played with the Spurs. Not talented enough.
What about Chase Budinger?
I think I guessed him already.
Chase
Yeah.
Budinger?
Mhm.
Oh, fuck.
Who's the other white ginger guy? Chandler Parsons?
I mean, I just remembered one that I feel really dumb. What about Robert Horry? But because he hit clutch shots on both of those.
Ooh,
But I-
he's high.
Yeah. Kind of his nickname is based on two
Oh,
series.
T Mac. What?
T-Mac definitely played for both.
What? Well, I don't think we're gonna come up with anything better than that.
Give you 1 more minute. We'll figure out something, huh?
Omer Sheik.
Who was running through the Spurs in the early 2000s with like David Robinson and them?
Brent
This is
Barry.
just a question for fucking Jacob, because he's the one that knows this shit.
Brent Barry.
Brent Barry. Yeah.
Whoa!
Great
Wow!
pull.
What a
I just
pull!
remember that right when you said that too. Yeah, because he had a
Holy
dunk contest when
crap.
he was with the Rockets.
Yeah.
Great pull.
All right. Who is the most random person that?
I mean, I feel like Antoine Walker would be a snipe.
True.
You go even farther back than that though too. You go to like
Wilt Chamberlain.
No, that'd be high. I don't even know.
Al Jefferson.
You could do that.
Did he average 25 a season?
It's only 25 for
Just
the
one
playoff.
game. Paul
Oh,
Millsap.
what about like Jared Sullinger?
Did he ever have a 25-point playoff game? Did he average 5 more rebounds a
Oh,
game?
it has to be a playoff game. Shit.
Yeah.
He might have, you know. Kelly Olynyk.
He definitely did. He against the Celtics.
He could do one of the Morris brothers. I think
And on them.
What are we thinking?
Who else? Who's some random guys that just went off for one game?
Miles Turner.
That's not that one. Rondo.
Westbrook.
I always want to pick fucking Rondo.
You could even do something like Andrew Bynum.
You could do Lamar Odom.
No, think of like a role player.
Probably like Kenneth Reed.
Kevon Looney.
Or like JaVale McGee. JaVale McGee probably did once.
Kenyon Martin probably did it once. Scalabrini.
In a playoff 25 in a playoff game.
I think he might have done it with the Nets way back with Jason Kidd and the Nets.
All right, fuck it. We'll go with the.
But
That'd be sick.
Also 5 rebounds a game. I don't know if you ever did that.
Brandon Bass.
I don't think. Yeah, try Brandon Bass. That'd be awesome.
Oh,
that was a good pull.
I love how he's a picture.
64. This was a good grid, and we still only scored better than 64% of grids.
Yeah, that Spurs, Mavericks, Rockets corner is tough.
Yeah, that's hard. Wow. Okay. Let's wrap it up. Let's look ahead here, and then we'll wrap it up. Let's look ahead. The Celtics play 4 times this week. Well, 3, and then they play on Sunday. They play the Cavs twice at home, Tuesday and Thursday. Probably going to be favored by like 8 to 10 points each time. What do we think?
I would like to see us win both of those games.
Well, yes, come on.
With
blazing analysis like that, Steve,
isn't our week 2 against the Cavs, 2 against the Magic?
Yeah, yep.
You
I was
can't
going to get to them next.
You can't split this week. You have to go 3-1 or better this week.
We have to see Strus again, goddamn.
Mm-hmm.
We have to see the Mo Wagner fucking revenge tour again.
Where do we think we could run into trouble with this Cavs team?
Well, if we didn't have Porzingis, it would have been rough with the bigs, but I feel like with Porzingis, it helps a bit.
I'd like to see Tatum and Brown try and get downhill on their bigs. We've
on
always had
Jared
problems
Allen.
finishing around the bigger guys like Mobley and Allen, but um, I'd like to see him work on that this week.
I think it's going to be a big guards week.
I think Derek White's going to eat this week. I don't
It's
think
going to
any-
be not only do they have to D up because they're playing two really good guards in Garland and Mitchell. They have to. I think they're going to have to be able to shoot really well too.
make him work on both ends. Make
Yeah.
Mitchell work on defense.
Yep. So yeah, I think we're all. I think they'll probably win both of these Cavs games. I think we'll probably split the Magic. Then we play the Magic on Friday on a back-to-back, coming off the Thursday night game against the Cavs at home, and then we play them again on Sunday. We'll probably have an episode in between, right before the Sunday game. But yeah, the Magic. Who knows, man? They're another team that likes to get out and run and control the pace of the game, and they're also really really tall, and they just frustrate the shit out of the Celtics team. So I'll be happy if we can split that series.
At least now it makes more sense when we lose to them since they're actually like number 2 in the East. It's not as much of a what the hell's going on thing anymore. It's almost like the Magic were just playing us this well from like 2 or 3 years back, and they're just now doing it to the rest of the league too.
I think the key to that game is closing out on the boards,
Yeah,
defensive
like-
boards.
like-
No second chance buckets for them,
yeah.
and
Agreed.
control the pace.
Same with the Cavs too. Don't let Mitchell and Garland get out and run too much.
Yeah, that seems to be a weakness of this team is the defensive boards. Man, they got to just limit that.
Yeah.
Once they started
worst
cleaning up on the boards against the Knicks, that's when they kind of got some separation with the scoreboard.
Yeah, I don't know who's lacking in the rebounding because Tatum's having a career year in rebounding, so I think the rest of these guys really got to step up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. I think Jalen, if he could, he's like kind of on the defensive boards, not a non-factor.
Yeah, he likes to get out and run. I think that's part of it.
Yeah,
Offensive rebounding, I think we need to pick and choose the right times to try and offensive rebound against these teams too. Because if you got Mobley and Allen out there and you're trying to offensive rebound against that and you don't get it, then that's just a run out for Mitchell and Garland. They got some
Yep.
athletic wings over there too, right?
I mean they have Struess and no, they don't have Osman anymore.
Those guys shooters though. You get out and run, and they're gonna hit shooters in the corners. That's tough.
I don't know. What do you think? I think 4-0 is it's possible,
It's
but I think 3-1 is likely.
Yeah, I'd like 4-1 a lot more than 3-1. I'd like to see them. If
Well,
you're gonna go
4-0.
3-1, I want to see you lose to the Cavs, not the Magic. I want to see you beat the Magic. Get
Yeah.
that monkey off your back.
Definitely. And that's the look ahead for this week. You got anything else going on?
No, just excited for consistent ball again.
Yeah, this
Me too.
break has been too much. Losing my
Not
mind.
enough hoops in our lives. Congratulations to the Lakers. The only trophy you'll be taking home this year, unfortunately.
I like they were drinking out of the trophy though. It's kind of like Stanley Cup vibes. I like that.
Yeah, it was really cool to see, and good for LeBron and AD to show out. And congrats to the Pacers too. Good effort. Yeah,
It's the only trophy Bron will ever get that Jordan won't.
yeah, true. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Skip. All right. I think that'll do it.
I'm good to go.
All right, boys. Thank you.
Another beautiful episode.
Happy
Thank you
Hanukkah.
for listening.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. And as always, from Cody, Jacob, and Steve, let's go Celtics.
Love you guys.